Alright guys, how we doing? It's Tuesday. Sorry it's a little bit later today. I've had quite a busy day. But you can see here we have some fun things laid out on the screen. And yeah, pretty much you guys know I like to read a little bit too far into everything. And so I went into a little bit of a math crunch on these shiny silver circles you see in front of you. So if you notice a trend, we have all low premium bullion here. Some of it's government minted, some of it's not. Picture that horse as being just a generic round. I don't have a more generic round currently. But this is what we're talking about today. So I've done a video like this recently called Are American Silver Eagles Worth It? I compared a generic kilo bar to 32 American Silver Eagles, and I realized that that description wasn't really apples to apples. So we are going to do apples to apples today. These are currently in an order. We have generic, eagle, Phil, maple, Brit, kangaroo, arc, Engelhard, turtle, Libertad. And I didn't use the old Libertads because they're much more expensive than the new Libertads. But the order these are in. Okay, so before I explain the order that these are in, I just want to say I went to Provident Metals tonight. I looked at the prices of all of these, buying them in different quantities, and then I compared it to the buyback price in order to find out which one you would lose the most money on if you were to buy and then immediately resell. And I looked at it in various quantities. So the order that they're in right now are if you only buy one at a time. So if you only bought one at a time, you would lose the least amount of money on a generic round, and you would lose the most amount of money on a Libertad. These are all most recent year in BU, just to be clear. If you're interested in those values, we have $1.72 lost, $2.52 lost, $2.53, $2.55, $3.06, $3.11, $3.16, $3.32, $3.65, and $6.03 lost. So, yeah, the gap here is about 70 cents between a generic round and a generic eagle, with Providence buyback prices. Now you may be wondering if that value changes a little bit depending on the quantity you buy. So yes, it does. Let me rearrange. So the order they're in now is if you were to buy a monster box of each of them, which one would you get the most money back on? You would lose the least amount of money on the Philharmonic with $1.17 per coin, then $1.61, $1.72, $1.74, $2.06. The Britannia and the Arc are tied for $2.12, $2.28, $2.60, and $4.99 if you were to buy a monster box of each of these. This is the order I would want to buy them in today. Obviously it could fluctuate, and it could also vary between vendor to vendor. So these are all from the same vendor just to try to keep things as smooth as possible. Now, let me rearrange them a little bit more. If I rearrange them like this is if I was buying in quantity of 20 or more. So this is if I'm buying one tube. I would lose $1.72 on the generic, $2.20, $2.24, $2.27, $2.66, $2.74, $2.84, $3.06, $3.31, and $5.70. That's if I was buying these and immediately reselling them, and I used the PayPal price, because many of you don't buy with Bitcoin, or you don't want to wait for the cash or check to go through, so you just buy with PayPal, which is the normal price, and all of this is assuming free shipping as well. So those are the things. Let me know what you think. It turns out generics are pretty good, but if you're buying in the right quantities, any of these could end up being better than generics for immediate buyback price and sale price. It's not always going to be this way for like a local coin shop. I know my local coin shop does it like this. I lose the least amount on generic and eagles, and then I lose about the same amount on all of these, and I probably lose a little bit more on a Libertad and a turtle. So yeah, but if you're just going off of online prices tonight, this is what your experience would be. So I suggest that if you're going to be buying quite a bit, and if you're maybe not such a long-term stacker and you don't really care that much about recognizability or purity or, you know, how good they look. This is something you could look at every time you buy, and you could see maybe if you're getting the most bang for your buck in today's market. So anywho, let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.